am everything that I am as an artist because of everything that I am as a Black and Puerto Rican woman.
Ayodele Casel is one of the world's top tap dancers who infuses her Black and Latina background into her art.
I remember when I started to develop my artistry, the interest was, how do I find a way to express that part of myself and share that with people? And so my very first solo show, I had a 10-piece Latin band. Like, to have jazz, which is obviously the foundation of tap dancing, and to have Latin music, which is like my own foundation, and put those things together, it literally explodes into joy and awesomeness.
The awesomeness of tap is something that Ayodele does not take for granted.
When I understood that the art form was rooted in my ancestors and that we, created a beautiful, sophisticated way of moving and making sound with our bodies. It was born out of oppression, out of slave masters outlawing drums for Black people. And out of that oppression, out of that repression, out of that silencing of, comes this way of making sound with your feet. The important thing about the art form that I have come to recognize over the time is how tap dancing just lives at the intersection of art and social justice, art and racism, art and sexism, art and the history of this country.
Ayodele has now taken it upon herself to not only teach tap and its origins to others, but she's also using her experience as a multicultural woman to mentor young women of color at the Broader Way Foundation.
Ayodele, do you only mentor dancers?
The crazy thing is, these girls, they're not even dancers. These young women are just young people who have varying interests. And my entry point to them is being a Latina, being a tap dancer, being, being a woman, right? But they're not even pursuing arts in the way that I am. And it doesn't even matter, because what I'm trying to infuse in them is confidence for them to do whatever it is that they want to do.
I want to study epidemiology. I want to work at the CDC. And mind you, it's already dominated by men. And so it's definitely something that always inspires me that my name could be out there. Like how Ayodele is putting her name out there, I can do the same.
I'm so blessed to have Ayodele, someone like Ayodele in my life. She really opened a lot of doors for me. I live in the projects. I live in East Harlem. My dreams are very, very limited in a way, but all these things that she's done for me showed me the potential that I could have and that I do have.
She's like a cool aunt or, like a friend. And I know she's always in my corner, which is, an amazing feeling because I've always looked up to her and she's given us so many amazing opportunities.
I am magnanimous. I am Michaela.
One of those opportunities was performing on stage with Ayodele at the Joyce Theater.
That was super amazing. I never got to perform in front of a big crowd, especially professionally. When I would read my piece or my friends would read their piece, you would have people in the crowd cheering you on saying, yes, yes, and that was something that I really liked.
It's one of the most unforgettable moments that I've ever had because it was me reading my own work in front of a really big crowd. It definitely gave me a voice and one that I didn't think that I had.
The voice and the confidence that Ayodele has given these young women is truly admirable and does not go unappreciated.
How grateful are you for Ayodele's support?
Words cannot explain how grateful, I don't want to get emotional because ooh, but even my mom, she's like, wow, she's like, Ayodele's amazing. She knows that Ayodele pushes me to achieve more. I really wouldn't be who I am without her.
Clearly, Ayodele Casel's impact is not just about entertaining an audience on stage. She has also empowered these young women with an undeniable rhythm of confidence and determination that will dance within them for years to come.
I want them to understand that their identity is their superpower, right? That who they are, that the languages that they speak, that the cultures, the foods that they know, that is their superpower. That is what's going to continue to connect them to more and more and more and more people as they get older. And they're going to change the world in their own ways. And I'm really excited about that.